My name is Ulla Schreckenberg. I'm a film student from Munich. In March of 1993, my best friend Rita took a vacation to America. She did not return. After 5 weeks, she wrote to me. She claimed she was happy, healthy, and would never return to Germany. She said she had discovered an ideal community. I should come at once and visit her. She wanted me to meet someone named Messiah. After some trepidation, I decided to visit Rita over in Maple Crest, New York. Of course, I took my camera. I arrive on the compound grounds on May 15th of 1993 and quickly realized that Rita has vanished. One cult member told me she had split for LA the week before. I'm not sure I believe him. I decide to stay a couple of days and poke around for clues. Apparently, I'm the first person to capture the cult on film. The cult live in this house, owned by blind 73-year-old retiree Frank Berger. Berger is said to have given little resistance to the cult when they knocked on his door appealing for shelter. Apparently he still enjoys their company. I quickly learn that the cult is being watched by a paramilitary wing of the US government, probably the FBI. They've been under surveillance for several weeks. I wonder why. No one here seems to have any answers.
For example, I was trying to put up a fence a few months ago, and nobody really wanted to help, and I wasn't going to do it by myself, so it just didn't get done. It's as simple as that. The problem, there's people spying on us, locals, police, tourists, filmmakers. I'm not really an advocate of private property, but I really like to put a fence up out there.
In 1 week, I've learned nothing about my friend Rita. I'm growing suspicious of the cult. The more I try to learn about them, the more enigmatic they become. No one here knows who started the cult or when it began, nor do they have a name. A Time magazine clipping describes them as a discreet cadre of evangelical, neo-pagan Marxist swingers. But this description doesn't seem accurate at all. When asked if they believed in God, I received quite the scattered response.
If God presented itself to me, I would probably accept it.
Sometimes I believe in God, but I don't really think about it that much.
It's more of an intellectual thing, an inner type creation.
No, I don't believe in God.
My mom used to tell us that every time we hurt ourselves, like we fell down or we skinned our knee or something, it was because God was punishing us for something we did wrong. I guess my vision of God is that he is a spirit. It's everything, and it's also, I couldn't even explain what I think it is.
I don't particularly believe in God, but somewhere inside me is the fear of the devil.
I also asked if they had been involved with other cults.
No, I once went to an AST meeting.
I was actually once almost indoctrinated into a drug cult.
Yeah, I went on a ski trip with the Nazarene Church once.
It's a really tricky question.
They'd given me a slip of paper on the sidewalk saying that I should come in for communion, meaning their drug, and learn to see and come to see Jawa or something.
And I just felt like I was just being taken over, and I just had this force that didn't stop for dancing. I just kept, going and going and thinking about, and at the time I was breastfeeding when my breasts were filled with milk, and it was like all life and death just right there, and it was a spiraling energy. It just felt really good.
The cult worships this man. They refer to him as Messiah, which is strange because many cult members are either atheist or agnostic. They also refer to him as friend, best friend, brother, cousin, uncle, father, little buddy, big guy, and Mookie. They are extremely devoted to him. Strangely, however, he seems hard-pressed to return that devotion. In fact, he has not spoken to anyone in the cult for almost 6 years. Much of the time he can be seen in a perpetual sort of daze, as if he's trying to remember something long gone in his life.
Hard to say whether or not they actually constitute a cult.
My search for answers leads me to an expert on cults and alternative lifestyles.
Oh, well, that's just as a cult is a particular style of religious worship. It differs from a sect, which is a religious denomination, especially one deviating from a generally accepted tradition. This cult seems to me to be more closely associated with a commune, which is a close-knit community of people who share common interests. Except these people don't necessarily share their common interest. And the uncommon interest they do share, they seem to pursue with the religious fervor of a fundamentalist cult or sect.
On a breezy Saturday morning, I went fishing with Ralph. But we don't catch anything. Ralph says he's never caught anything during the 7-year period in which he's lived on the compound, but he still likes to fish. Later that day, I asked June why she originally came to visit the cult.
I came here with my boyfriend, actually. He wasn't my boyfriend then. Actually, I met him in an airport in New York just after I arrived, and he offered to show me the sights if I wanted to buy one of his CDs. We had a great time. Though I really didn't like his music that much. After a couple of days, he asked me to go up to a place called the Catskills. He said he wanted me to meet his friends. Said it was a countryside, like New Zealand. And I said, yeah, well, whatever, okay. I've been here for 3 years. You know, this is my home.
An afternoon supper consists of a stewed combination of rice, beans, and cult-grown vegetarian produce. It is served hot to hungry cult members and is known to them as chili. Most meals are prepared by house chef Frank Berger, but chili is a specialty of cult member Mouse. And I must say, it's quite tasty. I asked June about a woman's role in the cult environment.
I don't go much for this traditional woman's work, you know, cooking and cleaning and that kind of thing. I actually like serving, but that's about it. I rather like hunting, but we don't go that often. Otherwise, I just get up when I want to, and no one really tells me what to do. Once in a while I have a little chat with a Messiah. I mean, I speak and he nods his head and shakes his head. But you'd be surprised at the level of communication that we achieve.
Tipped off by a local, the cult anticipates a raid by the FBI.
I haven't seen them myself. We're having a meeting about it tonight. I'm ready to defend myself and my family, absolutely. Whatever Messiah tells us to do, we'll do. And whatever the outside world tells us to do, we'll be sure to do otherwise. You know what I mean?
The next day, I'm introduced to the FBI, up close and personal.
Drop it!
Hi.
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 I'm Ralph, and this is June.
Hot man or FBI?
Can we call you Huck?
Sure.
Would you like a cigarette, Huck?
I don't smoke.
You don't mind if we videotape, do you?
No,
You seem a little nervous, Huck.
I'm not.
Are you sure? Because this whole process would be a lot easier if you weren't.
I'm not nervous. What do you want with me?
Well, I just want to talk for a little while. And then we want you to meet some people, and then I think we'll probably have some dinner. And depending on how all that goes...
We'll probably let you go.
That is, if you want to go.
Me and the Huck are interested in one thing.
What's that?
Can you play the drums?
Although Messiah doesn't speak to his disciples, he does sing to them. I am told his band Joy has gone without a drummer for over 2 years. Today the group have found a new recruit, Huck, the captured FBI agent. My understanding is that he is blindfolded to determine if he can find the true spirit of the beat. Although Joy have produced many demo tapes, they have not received a contract with a major label. The band laments that this is due to theological differences with an evil capitalist record industry. I later asked Agent Manwaring to reflect on his experiences.
I was told that being in a band with a Holy Messiah isn't the easiest thing in the world to do, and it isn't. But after the first time that we jammed, it was as if, well, you know, it's like at first I was worried about screwing up, losing time, you know, whatever. But at the end of the song, I was just so full of love and happiness, I just wanted to keep playing the same song forever. All new drummers had to sleep with him. Maybe that's why there hadn't been any new drummers in so long. Personally, I found it to be an incredible experience. And afterwards, well, I guess I just never lost faith.
I'm here 6 weeks, and I'm accepted by most members of the group. Recently, the cult has discovered the FBI channel, a live 24-hour cable network showing FBI maneuvers as they actually occur. The channel is currently broadcasting the FBI's attempts to recover Agent Manwaring. With a hostage crisis in a stalemate, cult life continues. Tonight we experience a sacrifice which consists of cult members purging themselves of guilt and other forms of mental anguish, often brought about by a harsh, desolate suburban upbringing. This is done by telling stories around a fire. After each person tells a story, they offer a drawing, which is consequently burned in the fire. Participants may also perform music or do a ceremonial dance related to the story. Sacrifices have been known to last as short as 5 minutes, or in the case of cult member Phil, some 14 years. Messiah has been keeping to himself even more than usual and has not responded to questions from the group about FBI activity. He has cancelled band rehearsal and has not eaten for several days. I again referred to Dr. Fremont.
Difficult to discuss the origins of cult for several reasons. First of all, they change their name quite frequently. Over the years, they have been known as the Luddites, the Brethren of the Free Spirit, the Down, the Samaritans, the Montreal Expos. They've taken many different names and assumed many different forms. I mean, if you look at how often the cult moves from one place to the next, or how they can shift from one set of fundamental principles to another at any given point in time, one could easily make the assumption the cult actually worships change itself.
One day, gunfire breaks out and FBI agent Brenda Smith is killed. The media blames the cult. I make my own inquiries, starting with the cult's dance instructor.
I didn't shoot Agent Smith. You know, we are not by nature a violent group. Not at all.
I ask Ralph.
I don't know. I didn't do it.
I asked June if she knows who killed Agent Smith.
Let me ask you a question. If you saw a person running towards you with a hand grenade, you and your family, what would you do? I didn't kill Smith, but I would have if I'd been you.
A victory for the cult. The FBI has determined that the death of Agent Smith was the result of so-called friendly fire. After a 4-month standoff, the last agent goes home.
When I was first ambushed by Ralph and June a couple of weeks ago, it was like, great, here we go again. This is actually the third cult that I've been captured by in the past year. I've been shot at by survivalists, I've been kidnapped by drug dealers, been tortured by Satanists, but this time is different. I wasn't captured by the cult. I was saved. I was delivered from a life of danger and servitude to the Bureau to a life of eternal peace.
Where did you get it?
Today on the compound we're experiencing a feast day, and it's certainly a happy scene. Ralph strums the guitar, June plays the drums, while Sheila weaves a dream catcher. Frederick, Trish and Darcy perform the cult's traditional dance. And it seems new cult member Hug Manwaring is a quick favorite of Messiah. I've become quite attached to these people. They kind of grow on you. Suddenly Messiah rises and begins to walk away from the group. Of late his strange behavior has led many to believe that a great change is about to take place. Let's follow him. While waiting for Messiah to come out of the bedroom, I closed my eyes, and for the first time in my life I had a vision. I was looking through a crack in the door and spied Messiah taking off his shirt. It seemed he had been hiding a pair of magnificent wings beneath his clothing. At that point he saw me and asked me to come in. He said that it was time to leave. He told me to put the camera down and reminded me that the lessons of experience compare favorably to the lessons of observation. I said, "What do you mean?" He then waved goodbye and left from the window. I figured with those huge wings he would fly away like an albatross, but he didn't. He just fell straight down and landed on his head. I heard a tiny groan and ran to the window to see if he was okay. The wings had disappeared. He looked at me one last time and shrugged. Then he walked away.
What kind of cult is this? The kind I can't resist. It makes me feel like being real. I'm ready to enlist. What kind of cult is this? The kind I can't resist. They make me feel like being real. I'm ready to enlist. Cult life. I came to find my friend. A letter she did send. Now I can't leave. I've learned to weep. My joy will never end. Cult life. Cult life. Fails to save the whales with